I was just talking to Josh Bell here. We're talking about, of course, he's with the Las Vegas Weekly film editor, but we're talking about that you've been here for how long?
More than 20 years,
More than
actually.
20 years,
yeah.
and even that, the temperatures are hot, right?
Yeah, it's you get used to it, but you don't entirely get used to it.
Yeah. Okay, well, the reason why you're here is because we're talking about Finding Dory. This has been much anticipated. Of course, as a follow-up to Finding Nemo, which came out in 2003.
Yeah.
And what's your take on it?
It's a fun movie. I think Finding Nemo has become a classic, really, in the time since it was released, and so any kind of follow-up is going to have really high expectations. Not only are we returning to these characters, but we're returning to Andrew Stanton, the original writer and director, so a lot of expectations coming into this film, and I think it lives up to those expectations in the sense that it's very entertaining, it's funny, it's got some really amusing new characters, but at the same time, it's not quite as new as Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo was one of the earlier Pixar films when I think they were really doing something innovative with every movie. And in this case, we have a very similar story. Of course, the first movie about the little clownfish who's trying to find his son. Here we have Dory, played by Ellen DeGeneres, the fish who is forgetful, and she's trying to find her parents. So it's a similar story. It's not necessarily as fresh and new, but it's still quite entertaining.
I understand there's sort of cute moments because Dory doesn't have a short-term memory, right?
Right, yes, that's the idea. Yeah. Dory has short-term memory loss, and all that stuff was very funny in the first movie where she was more of a supporting character, and here she takes center stage. And the movie really does explore that. You get some flashbacks, see her as a young fish with her parents, and there's some nice themes here about coping with disabilities that are not heavy-handed. I mean, it is aimed at families and at kids, so you've got some lessons. But Pixar, unlike some other studios that do family films, they're not going to bang you over the head with the lessons. So I think it works pretty well overall. It's something great for parents to take their kids to.
Yeah, and something also parents can enjoy. There's some adult humor,
right?
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't say adult humor, but it's definitely sophisticated. I mean, that's one of the things about Pixar movies, right? Well, some movies do that, and that's maybe a little more pandering. But Pixar movies are more sophisticated. There's depth to them. And just looking at it, really, the animation is amazing. It kind of uses the style of the older films, so it doesn't look necessarily as lush as some more recent Pixar films, but still the character design is amazing and just the world building is really impressive.
So bottom line, is it worth the price of admission, especially for this weekend?
Yeah, I think it is. It's worth seeing, especially if you like the first film.
Okay, Josh Bell with Las Vegas Weekly film editor. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone, we'll be right back.